So going back to the puzzle, just to kind of recap on what I had mentioned before, this puzzle existed in Gloomhaven. So we find a section called Ancient Technology, which, let me go back to the Depths of the Delirium, which was mission 27, which ended on 8.2. And then that goes to 36.7. So yeah, here it is. Ancient Technology. Scrap a piece of paper with a bunch of letters on it, which it existed in Gloomhaven. So here we have a card with those exact letters matching up. Can you copy and paste what you put in chat, but right click on this card and paste it in the description?
Oh, is it? There you
go. Okay. So the reason why I'm just going to kind of gloss over this one is because there is no way that you, me, Archer, especially not Mateo if he's not, wanting to do the puzzles with this. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I understand. It's here for the main game. This we would not be able to. I don't think we have the skills it would take to figure this out. So what's interesting is in Gloomhaven, this alphabet was not the alphabet they used for every other thing you had to decipher. So in Gloomhaven, not only did you have to figure out what the letters were, you had to figure out what the code was. So this is what you got. You got the very first word, the, and everything else doesn't make sense. So the way this works is this is what they call a rotating cipher.
Okay.
So the very first letter matches. A is A, B is B, right? The very last letter of the word you've translated becomes the new cipher key. So in the case of the, E being the third letter shifts your cipher over by 3. And if I'm not mistaken, it's backwards. So that doesn't mean that A is now E. I mean, it's backwards. So A goes like X or something like that. I'll be honest with you. I try to visualize it in my head and I fail every time. We literally had to print out a wheel that every time it changed, I just rotated the wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the answer that they discovered long ago. Let's see. Let me see if I can't find. I might just have to look at the puzzle book. All right. Frosthaven. Here we go. All right. Give me one moment. Thing is I have the answer to it. Maybe I can find it in one of my saves here. 1 second.
Does it have the word golem in it? Pieces. The pieces. Golem. Metal.
There it is.
Hey, wow! So there's this cipher rotating thing that I was looking at here, and I found the pieces in the golem, but I didn't get them close to the rest of it. I did see metal as well. Okay, wow. So I was getting there, but it's going to take
Yeah.
me a long time.
So what you got here is, yeah, there's the answer. The pieces form a whole. The golem comes to life. It speaks its name, Metal Mosaic. Now, what's interesting about this is being a Gloomhaven puzzle, that's where it ended.
Okay.
So they've brought it back here. I want to go back and remember the answer to one of these. It was this whole thing, which I think we've got in our spoiler bag. Yes, here we go. 3 research, come away with 0, double the research. So it was like 306, I believe.
So it is. So it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be like based? It's a rotating cipher based off of the Caesar cipher name. Is that what it is?
Based off of what?
Okay, no, I remember in school I did a Caesar cipher and they talked about different ciphers, but I never got really into cipher stuff, so
It might
I
have been.
never.
I'm pretty sure that if you're into ciphers and into like cryptology and stuff like that, this was not too difficult. But it is something that I definitely would have been banging my head against a wall because I would have been like, well, what's the answer? You know? Um,
We had a thing for this in my forensic science class. That's about it. But again, that's probably been about how many years? 15? 15 years? Ugh. Next, they're gonna make us do matrices and everything.
so I can't tell you how the leap here is made, unfortunately. I think Crane Tellinger at some point. Crane mentioned something about ancient technology, and I don't remember exactly where it was. I thought it was in the answer here, but I'm not quite seeing it. Was there a first? This was no, it was a single. Okay, the reason why I mention it is this. He mentions ancient technology, and I'm going to point something out. We now have a name, right? Metal Mosaic.
Yeah.
The spaces here perfectly match the name.
What am I saying? Okay.
And underneath certain letters now are these, which are numbers.
Yeah, we got one on the very end there. We got 3 and 2. Okay, so 2. So 1, 2, 3. So it looks like, oh yeah, you already have it. You already have it there.
Yeah, no, it's just fine. I mean, I would rather you be able to look at it and, figure that out. So
Okay,
here,
yeah.
here's where we get into a little bit of another sticky wicket, right? So now we have E equals 2. We have we have A equals 3, and we have C equals 1. And as we all know, what we need to solve a puzzle is a 3-digit code, right?
Yeah.
Where would you think to go from here?
Where would I think to go from here with a
So, I
I mean, we often do coordinates and stuff whenever we have these kinds of things, but then there was also CAE.
well, in this case, I mean, I would think at least the first thing that comes to mind is what if the number is telling us that's the order of.
Oh yeah, I was thinking it's the order of like what the letters would be, but you never know. Um, mm,
Well, maybe it's the other way around. Like, so if A is equivalent to 1, so then
you think it?
uh,
You'd be like
I'm trying to
three,
remember. I'm doing things a
three,
little
one,
out of
two.
order in my head, so I'm not. So we would end up with CEA, which doesn't make sense. But if it were CEA and we turn the letters back to numbers, that would be what 3.4.1 maybe. I don't think that's it.
Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely not. What's funny here is we technically, if we have 3 digits, we could just try every combination of 3 digits.
I mean, if we were doing that, it'd be like 5, 1, and 3. If we're doing it like in that order, but so it'd be 3, uh, 3, 5, 1.
So
3,
so
5,
you're
1. If we were doing it by like translating it from like number to letter to number, it'd be 3, 5, 1. If we're doing it by the order of like 1, 2, and 3.
hey, yep. So that's just it, yeah, right. So
Okay.
so
Oh, we get close box. Nice.
so
I like
yeah,
that one where we did the coordinate one. That was nice. That's
yeah,
cool.
so exactly. So the number is literally the order, and then the letter is the actual number. So yeah, you got it. 35.1, which gives us ancient technology.
Yes.
Ever since Crane has come to live in Frosthaven, he's been incredibly busy working out the intricacies of the ancient diary. But given its glyphs match the markings on the ancient technology you found, at some point your patience gives out. You enter his longhouse with the various bits of technology and ask for his help. Rather than being annoyed, Crane's eyes light up at the sight of the machinery. That's quite the collection of interesting items you've got there. In fact, judging from these markings, it looks like they may all be parts of the same larger device. Astounding! Crane begins to mutter to himself as he pores over all the details of the machinery. Yes, perhaps if we insert this into that, this drill could be an arm of some sort. You try to get a better look at what he's doing, but he shoos you away, demanding that you only come back when he's done. He doesn't call for you until a week later. You enter his abode once again and are astounded to see a giant mechanical creature standing before you, with arms, legs, and a steam engine chugging away, providing power to a central core. I had to add a few parts here and there, but I'm sure this was the original intent. Crane marvels. It's some sort of combat robot. But there's still one problem. While I got its engine running, I can't get its circuitry to activate. From what I can tell, it will remain dormant until a specific code phrase is uttered. I have no idea what it is. Completely transfixed, you approach the machine and speak the words that you know to be correct. Its name, Metal Mosaic. And so we got the drills.
Drills. The Metal Mosaic. Drill boy. The big boy. What the hell is this stuff though? He has a heating mechanism, power mechanism, what do you want to call it? Okay. Interesting. Gain heat and lose pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Metal Mosaic, most of your actions will cause you to gain or lose pressure, which will move your pressure gauge on the left up or down after the action is fully resolved. Pressure is tracked using a pressure token. You start each scenario with regular or green pressure. Many actions will have bonuses or penalties depending upon your current pressure. If your pressure matches one of the pressure lines of the action, it is mandatory to apply all bonuses and penalties of that line except for element consumptions. For each action, perform abilities and add effects from top to bottom. Then apply all pressure changes from top to bottom. Any self damage effects are also applied at the same time as pressure changes. He has fire and ice as his core elements. He is a primary melee defense mobility character, a little bit of control. But here's what I was talking about. Remember, I told you the ancient technology. Look, steam armor, ancient drill, rocket boots, power core, steel piston, pressure beam axe, memory drive. I think memory drive was actually an item. So yeah, all the ancient technology items from Gloomhaven are represented, and you just look at all of these Steam changes. He's a crazy boy.
Guess you just have to you have like a little token to mark it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, kind of like how the trophies or the time tokens or something like that. His permanent perks, he's got a 3-part perk. Once each scenario, when you would become exhausted, instead gain stun and invisibility. Lose all of your cards. Lose all of your cards, then recover 4 lost cards, and then discard the recovered cards. So you basically get a chance to come back to life.
So you get like an extra 2-ish turn?
Let's see.
Well, if you don't count the one where you exhaust it.
Well, you have to. Let me see. You discard the cards you recover, which means you still have to take a rest afterwards, which means you'll have 3 cards.
So it's like 2 turns, yeah. If you have the 3. Well, I don't know if you do a long rest, I guess that's a turn. You know what I meant, like active turns.
Yeah.
Like they use your cards. So you have the 3, then you have the 2. Okay.
Ooh, whenever you would gain poison, you may suffer a damage to prevent it. So he doesn't just outright ignore it. guess they figure poison's a little too strong to just ignore. Whenever you long rest, you may increase or decrease pressure by 1. Nice. -1 cards with a 0 increase or decrease pressure. -1 with a rolling armor card. So he's got rolling armor. He is a tanky boy. Tanky boy.
This means you take the damage, right? Or is that adding 1 damage? The red.
Which one are you looking at?
I'm looking at B-Max and like Ancient Drill has it. Steam Armor. Is
So,
that just adding damage or is that self damage?
so it's 4. All right, yeah. So it's like 4 damage, and if
Oh,
you're
that's
on,
self damage. Okay, it says
yeah, if
fear.
you're over pressured, then it's self damage of 1. So in this
Okay.
case, if you're over pressure, you get the full AOE, you get the experience, you take a bit of damage, and then you go down 2 levels till you're back at normal. It looks like if you're in high pressure, it's the same thing, but you lose 1 on the radius, and you go 1 down to normal. So either way, you're going to normal. If you play it on normal, then it's just an attack of 4. So that's interesting, right? It's an attack of 4, and then if your pressure is 1 or 2
That's a
levels up, it's
pretty good exchange, honestly. I'd freely take 1 damage to do like 3 attacks, basically.
right.
Hell yeah. So I guess if you're wasting the extra 2, it is a disadvantage right there. Oh well. Huh.
Like, look at the bottom of this one. It's just a move 2, right? But over pressure, it also lets you attack afterwards for 3, and then go back to normal. And even if you're on high pressure, it's attack 2, no damage to yourself. But that's good. A move 2, attack 2, and all you need to do is be in high pressure.
It's, yep. I was looking to see how often there's like low pressure advantages. So I guess we got like this one. This one gives you experience just for being low pressure. Pretty good. But
Yeah,
overall,
it doesn't look like there's a lot that like gives
heal.
you.
This one gives you a recover. Up to 1 level 1 card from your discard pile, and then it gives you another recover. What? Pretty good.
Yeah,
If you're
recover
low
1 level
pressure,
1 from your discard pile.
then this one it's like if you're regular pressure, if
So you
you
need
have ice,
regular
you
and
get another one.
ice. Yeah, but that's still recovering 2 cards, and it doesn't burn.
That's pretty good.
God,
And
that's dude. This is the closest
Murray
we've
drive pretty
had.
good.
This is the closest we've had to seeing a quartermaster again.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Quartermaster is what this. I guess it kind of makes sense that this would be kind of like the quartermaster because it's like conceptually it's like using items, but they're part of it. Kind of
Right?
like the
Yeah,
quartermaster. Yeah,
he's like a walking item.
yeah, that's cool.
So it looks like the low pressures are mainly for things like here you get defense, here you get healing, here you get extra recovery. Pull out the X cards. Attack 3 on your next pressure, gain 2 pressure instead.
Okay, so on your next pressure gain, you gain 2. Okay.
And the bottom is
Then
on
on
your
the
next
opposite, it's
loss.
the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Roll 1 enemy within 4. If you're high pressure, you move them
Oh,
1.
look at that. Curious Gear. Curious Gear, I know. Yeah, that was one of the technologies. Hell, isn't that an item we have now? Spring 1 trap within range 3,
Yeah.
applying the effects to an enemy adjacent to it. Haha, nice. Dude, Trapper would work
Oh
well,
yeah,
but
this would be cool to have with the actual trapper. It's like, oh yeah, you build the trap, I'll go ahead and spring real quick for you, okay? Yeah, pretty cool.
very
What
nice.
are you next round?
I admit I am fascinated by this character because it's like it looks interesting, but there's so much going on. I don't know
I
what I don't really know what the build potential is.
I mean, it's a tanky boy. For me, it just looks like it like I think it just looks. I mean, it doesn't really look that complicated, but it looks more complicated than it is just because it has all these extra stuff. But really, as long as you know what pressure you're in, you're like, okay, I know what it's gonna do. It's just read the card, right?
Yeah,
Though I
yeah.
guess it's gonna be inconvenient. That's the only problem I can see is like some of this will be inconvenient where you're like, oh my god, I really didn't pay enough attention to my pressure. Now I'm gonna like take
Yeah.
1 damage.
The hard part's going to be like seeing how the combos chain, right? Because you have to keep a
Oh, this
mental
one's
idea
good.
of where your pressure will be.
See this one I'd do that one all the time. Release valve, just getting the heal 3 self as long as I'm on high pressure instead of like you have this and you have your damage ones. So you're like, oh okay, well do I want to have like the option to heal or do I want to do a AoE? Well, I'm low health, I'll do the heal one. Also just 3 move and 3 heal. Nice. Get experience.
I love the fact that
You
he
definitely
gets.
got to have a lot of build up though. You need to use recursion if you're doing stuff like that. If you're
I,
doing high pressure all the time.
I love the fact that he gets. He replaces 2 -1s with rolling defensive cards.
Rolling defensives. Yeah, yeah. Let's say that's just one of those. It's like a lot of times, like I don't know, I don't like rolling element gains as much. I like rolling wound is nice, but yeah, rolling defense pretty damn good, especially if you're getting in the field a lot, right?
Yeah, it looks like he gets rolling pierce, rolling retaliate. He gets heal 2 self cards. Get the +3. Dude, one of his masteries is never attack.
Yes, just get a bunch of retaliate things or something, or just go kill a bot.
Retaliate or straight damage, like release valve does do straight damage.
You can do the quartermaster thing and try to do memory drive and just like try to go infinite with shields and stuff and try to everybody else do all the attacking work and I'll try to stay alive forever. That's great. One card to play 3 cards instead of 2, using 1 as initiative and at least 1 top and bottom action. So yeah, processing plus like something like memory drive to make it actually work out a little bit better.
Yeah, processing combined with that memory drive would keep you
Yeah.
from prematurely exhausting. 3 cards instead of 2.
I just overall I don't really like this card that much just because like I've never been a fan of the move loot cards where it's like, oh yeah, I guess I can just move as a move two. It's very slow too. I guess you just have to use a fast card though. Very, very slow. So on average, I'd say he has like some pretty fast cards and some really slow cards. So I guess you just like, oh, do I want to go fast this turn or do I want to go like really slow? Which
Yeah.
very fitting for a defensive class.
So his other mastery is for 4 consecutive rounds, move the pressure gauge up or down 3 levels from where it started at the beginning of the round. So for 4 consecutive rounds, you have to go from low pressure to overpressure and then overpressure to low pressure. That's a lot of pressure changes.
Marler.
And he has tank health, right? Yep, 10 hit points.
Yeah,
Smaller
it's pretty cool.
smaller card pool though, 9 cards.
That's because he's got
He's got recovery, yeah.
he got recovery. Just
So if you
don't
want
want to
to
be too powerful.
sneak peek of one of his strongest cards here,
Okay,
Polarity
so
Shift.
this one does something with every pressure. This
Pull
is one you have to be
3.
like, I needed to pay attention when I'm at.
Oh,
Ooh, heal
interesting.
6 self. I do love one of those.
Yeah.
So big
So
O
if
heal if I'm low pressure.
yeah, low pressure, big heal, and then you go to overpressure. Looks like
High
if
high pressure, big hit. Also pretty good. It's like I don't know if I care too much about the armor one that often, but actually but the move
yeah,
is really good.
it's
The
and
other one's really good. Yeah.
it's pretty much it's guaranteed that if you're in the lower half, it takes you to over. If you're in the upper half, it takes you to low.
Yeah, so it's really good for getting to those like points where you're I think they have some of the bigger effects. I don't know. I don't know if
Unstable
I mean
core. Play
I like
4
healing.
cards from your lost pile, and for each card, perform either its top or bottom action, activating any one pressure effect on each action regardless of your current pressure.
You become exhausted.
Then you exhaust,
Which, you just gotta pair it with that ability, right?
right?
But yeah, this is definitely your Hail Mary at the end, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna last another 2 turns after this, or 3-ish turns after
The
this.
the bottom is a permanent ongoing though. Once per turn, when you perform an attack, you may lower your pressure by 1 to add +3. Or, when you perform a move, you may increase your pressure to add +3. When you have low or over pressure at the end of your turn, suffer 5 damage. And discard this card. So it can go back to your discard. That's pretty slick though. +3, +3.
So this one's like an interesting sort of like, yeah, you're just trying to balance your pressure. It's interesting. Just trying to go for like regular or high pressure all the time.
That is interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, he intrigues me. Absolutely intrigues me.
Gosh. Oh man. Oh, this is cool though. I did not expect I guess I did not expect to unlock a new character, to be honest, today. Cool. Hope did we do that. Let's go back on that.
Yeah, but there he is.
He's a cool one. Probably depends on, like, I'd probably have him between a few other characters, right? For my next choice. So if nobody else swipes him up, I'd probably try to grab him. Which, for potato wouldn't mind grabbing this guy though. Let's see what else. What are the other ones we haven't done? You remember? We have them somewhere listed.
What are the other what we haven't done?
Yeah, so we haven't gotten the Ice Fist guy yet, but that's not
Right. So Algok storyline, Lurker storyline, and then
Geminate, quick guy. Yes, Blink Blade, Geminate. Is that it?
oh, you're talking about who we haven't retired?
Yeah, who haven't we retired other than the ones we're currently playing?
Let's see. Oh, I forgot to do this. Let me put the Trapper in. We've got 7 retirements. So Trapper, Deep Wraith,
So
Pain
we're probably gonna get this
Conduit.
guy soonish.
So we've done Drifter.
Yeah.
We've done Banner Spear. We've done Deathwalker. Drifter, Banner Spear, Deathwalker.
Yeah, it's just Geminate and Blink Blade, and then this
Yep.
guy, and I think we're gonna get the Ice Fist guy soon. Maybe the Kelp or whatever that one's soon too.
Well,
These are probably closer.
we should be hopefully getting the coral
Yeah. Cool.
because
Yeah.
we now have unlocked the ability to do the very last mission for the lurkers.
There we go. But yeah, get the coral. I think we can probably get the Ice Fist soon too, just because it's close-ish. Well,
We
no, that's that. It's that. Never mind. It's that.
yeah, we've got a branching storyline to choose from once we get there.
Okay. I think I was just mixing up this part where we just did Depths of Delirium. Okay. So never mind. So yeah, we'll have like 3-ish people to choose from on the next stuff. Okay. Cool.